Hi all, welcome back to Fleursbydesign with Fleur, and this video I'm going to be making one of the Heidi Swapp Marquee Love. This is the Christmas tree. I needed something to decorate my office for Christmas, so I'm just making one of these, and I actually got the colored light bulbs just because I personally, when I decorate my Christmas tree, I love the colored light bulbs. I don't have all white, so I thought for this one I'd like to have colored light bulbs as well. So I'm going to open it up and get started. So when you open up the box, you get instructions on how to place the lights, and you also get a cardboard cutout of the shape. So if you wanted to decorate with pattern paper, or you could even glue this and put glitter on it and then place it inside. But this is kind of a template of where the lights go and the shape of the marquee light, so that you can cut out pattern paper if you want, which is probably what I'm going to do. And then you also get the actual light, which is it's like a hard cardboard, and you get that, and you also get the lights. So this is what the strand of lights look like, and it takes 2 AAA batteries to run them. And then you also get the little bubble cap covers for the lights. So like I said, instead of using the clear, I'm going to switch them out for these colored ones. So let me grab my paper and I'll get started. So I think I've narrowed down my pattern paper to the Basic Gray collection from this year. Has this really nice kind of blue with snow on it, and then a plaid on the back. And I think I'm going to use this blue because the lights, which are like a turquoise, orange, pink, red, and green, kind of go really nice with the blue. I think if it was green, maybe the lights wouldn't stand out so much, so I'm going to try that, and if not, then I'll probably go with a more neutral background. But let's try this one first. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your template and you're going to trace it onto the pattern paper. So I'm laying down my template onto the back so that we don't see the drawing lines, and I'm just going to trace the whole entire template down onto the paper. And I'm also going to include where the holes are, because eventually we're going to need to punch a hole in there so that the light bulb has somewhere to go through. You can leave it and just try and force the light bulb through at the end, but you might tear the paper. So what I generally do is just make a small little hole, even with scissors, just to kind of give it somewhere to start going through. So we're just going to trace this whole thing, and then I will cut it out. And since that might take me a while, I'm going to skip to the next section when it's all done. Be right back. So you can see I've gone in with my crocodile, and I've put holes where I could reach with my crocodile, but I can't reach into the middle to do those 3. So all I'm going to do is use my sharp scissors, and I'm going to poke a hole just in the very middle, because you basically just need somewhere for this to go. So you just want to kind of poke a hole in the middle with scissors or anything like that. Just kind of make a little hole. If you have, a long time ago, before we had the crocodile, we had these sets, I think Making Memories made them, and inside there was an anywhere hole punch, and it came with a little hammer and then a little stick, and on the end of the stick was like a little hole punch, and you could go in anywhere on the page and use it. So I still have one of those around somewhere, but I didn't want to have to dig it out, so I just used my scissors just to make little holes so that when you're pushing the lights through, it's not going to rip your paper. So next thing we have to do is just make sure it fits. So we're just going to place it inside the tree and see if we can get it to fit, and it's almost perfect. There you go. So that's the next step. Just put it inside and see if you need to trim down anywhere that you can't fit it in, but this one actually fit almost perfectly first attempt, which is great. And the next thing we're going to do is just punch in the lights. So I'll get those ready to go and be right back. So for the next step, we're just going to add the lights, and you just follow the diagram that they have on here. So they've got the battery pack kind of resting where the trunk of the tree is, and then number 1 is the very far one. So you're just going to take the first light. So as you can see, I'm just going to keep threading it through and adding the different color light bulbs as you go, and you just keep following the little directions on the back of where it goes. So number 4 is right there. So again, you're just going to keep going all the way, and there's, I think, 5 different color lights here. So you just want to make sure that the two lights are not going to be side by side, so that they kind of have multi-lights going over. So I'll finish doing this one. I'll be right back. So I decided I didn't like the orange for Christmas. I'm not a big orange person to start with, but for Christmas I really don't like orange lights. So I took out the orange and added, thank goodness there was extra colors in this, so I've just kind of switched it out with all the other colors. And now I've got them kind of laid out how I want. So the next thing you're going to do is actually pop them through the holes. So you're going to push the little bulbs down, and it takes a little bit of doing, and you'll see it sits really low down. This is what they look like when they're popped up. And then you're just going to center them in the hole as best you can, and then apply a little bit of pressure. And like I said, it does take a bit to pop it through. There you go, and it pops into the hole, and that's what holds it in place. So once you have that all done, then you're just going to pop all your little bulbs into place. And I'll be right back once I have that all finished, so you don't have to sit and watch me do all of that. And I'm thinking it's a little plain, so I'm probably going to add some glitter, like kind of snow maybe, on the outside edges, just to pretty it up a little bit. So I'll be back and see what we can do about that. So here I am all finished. I'm just going to turn it on and make sure all the light bulbs work, and there you go, they're all working fine. So you can see the back, I've just laced it the way it said to do it. And there's the front with it all done. And the next thing I'm going to do is just decorate a little bit of the outside, just to add a little bit of snow or something like that, so it's like a snow Christmas tree. I'll be right back. So for the outside, I came up with a concoction. This is what it looks like on paper. It kind of gives it a little bit of sparkle with some texture, and it's got glitter in there. So what I did is I took some gesso, or gesso, I'm not sure how to say that. So I took a little bit of that, and then I added in just whatever I could find. So I found some glitter. I also found some Fun Flock in the white, and then I also have these Recollections chunky glitter, so I added some of those in there, and I made it into just a little Mod Podge. So you can see there's the glitter in there. And then once that is on, I poured kind of another layer of the glitter on top, and that gives it that kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but that kind of glittery shiny thing. So all I'm going to do is take my concoction that I made and apply it to the sides. So you're just going to put it on, and it's kind of chunky because of the Fun Flock, but that's how I wanted it. I wanted it to look like snow, and snow isn't smooth, it's chunky, right? So I figured with the chunky glitter and the Fun Flock, I'd get this nice kind of chunky look that I wanted. So we're just gonna do the whole thing like that, and then while it's still wet, you're gonna want to put the other glitter on again. So while it's still wet, you're just gonna lightly sprinkle. This is just Glitter Ritz Ultra Fine White Glitter, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on and then spread it around. So this just kind of gives it a little bit more sparkle. So I'm going to do it on the underside as well. There we go. So you can see that kind of gives it a little bit of sparkle. And you can add as much or as little glitter as you like. I just want a little bit of glitter. I want more of the kind of just white chunky look for it, so it looks like not just what it was. So there you go, it's got a nice kind of glitter on it, and I'll just keep adding until I feel like it's finished and it looks frosty, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now you can see it's still wet, so I'll take some pictures when it's all dry, but I've just kind of made it look kind of sparkly on the outside. And then for the front, I added kind of little chunks where I thought maybe the snow would fall more, so it kind of looks more like snow. So kind of in the corners and at the bottom edges. So once this is dry, I will take some pictures and we can see what the final result is. I really like it. I can't wait to put it up in my office and see how it looks. Thanks very much for stopping by. See you next time. Look at my nice messy fingers, but we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.